Joined today by men's soccer head coach Steve Babineau for a season preview interview. Coach, into your second week of preseason camp, you've played some outside competition, so you probably have a pretty good grasp on what your team looks like so far. What are your thoughts going into your season, which begins this Saturday?
We've got a long road ahead of us, but I think going into my fifth year now, I think this is one of the first time I've experienced a group to gel as quickly as this group has, again, in the 5 years. So they've done really well to just kind of incorporate each other. I think we have close to 13 new guys that we kept with returning a big roster. So it's always hard to trickle in the new guys and get them into believing in what we're doing and how we think we should be playing. And the fitness level is great. It's been, I think, one of the harder preseasons that we had for this group. But they've responded really well, and we were able to kind of put things together and look forward for the weekend ahead.
Now let's first talk about those new guys that you've mentioned. Quite a few newcomers, a lot of new faces. Yesterday during media day, we had some of my student workers there, and they said they didn't recognize most of the team. Talk about that group. I know there's a lot of talent there, and it's not just your typical first-year freshman either.
It's pretty exciting because there is a lot of talent. So anytime that you get a fairly strong recruiting class in, you have high expectations for them. But we return 22 guys and you have 10 seniors, I think it becomes really difficult to figure out how you're going to piece this thing all together. And we've been talking a lot just about that. And we have men as freshmen that should and could step on right away, but they have to kind of earn that, and that's what they're working towards. But they're able to just kind of fit in. I think it's going really well, and the acceptance of the older guys has been really, really big, and I think it's relaxed that group, so they could kind of play at their highest level coming in, and they're adjusting really well. And we're going to figure out on Saturday who we're going to put out there for the 11.
Really good competition right off the bat with a couple of Commonwealth Coast Conference opponents. Just kind of talk about this weekend, how you've been gearing up for that and knowing that it's a tough start to the season.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, there's if you look all the way down the schedule, there's no game that isn't going to be tough for us in and out of conference. And I always find myself hanging out with Roger Williams and Salve Regina on the recruiting paths, and I know that they're very, very good in their conference, and I know that that's a good tournament that Roger Williams coach Jim Cook puts on, and we were invited and we were happy to accept. And I think coming off the scrimmage from the past weekend, it was a good result for us. However, it's changed when you get to regular season, and we're just preparing the best that we can. It's always difficult to go into that first weekend because you're only going to have the 2 weeks, and you think you might put out the right 11, or and things change throughout the season, and scouting reports are next to nothing, I guess, when you don't really have nothing to go on. So we're just trying to focus on Roger Williams and prepare for them. We know that in years past they've been very, very good, and it's going to take a collective effort from everybody that we bring down there to put forth a good effort to try to get the result.
You mentioned your preseason scrimmage against another Commonwealth Coast team, University of New England, this past weekend. A good result for the Monks, a 3-0 win, and some new faces showed what they have right off the bat. We'll talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's definitely a good result when you want to look at wins and losses, I guess. Although it doesn't come up, in the record book, but that's not what we're about. And we know that we needed to go and work on our match fitness, and I know that we had some goals going into that game where the end result of the game would take care of itself if we focus on the process of it. And
so light 'em up.